friends, I'm Crystal Bessie with the Louisiana Farm to School program. This month's Louisiana Harvest of the Month lives in both fresh and salt water, and it can be found all over the world. Here in Louisiana, these little creatures take on a delicious and unrivaled flavor due to the nutrient-rich waters of the Gulf. It's shrimp. Since the 1800s, shrimp have been the backbone to commercial fishing in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's vital to the culture, heritage, and livelihoods of many Louisiana families. Today, we set out to the Louisiana waterways to fish out just what makes these tasty crustaceans so appealing. With thousands of miles of coastal marshes, estuaries, and shallow bays teeming with nutrients, Louisiana shrimp are abundant and play a vital role in marine ecosystems. Louisiana leads the nation in shrimp harvests, landing 47.5 million pounds of shrimp in 2022 alone. Shrimp begin their life as eggs in offshore waters. As post-larvae, shrimp will move into the shallower estuaries with the incoming tides because they cannot swim yet strongly on their own. There, where rivers and bayous meet the Gulf, these young shrimp find lots of vegetation like marsh grass to hide in, and an abundance of food is available. Early shrimping in Louisiana was done in the marshes and lakes just south of New Orleans, using small skiffs and large nets brought from France. Although the boat design has changed as the shrimping industry has grown and expanded, the nets are basically the same. Shrimping has a long history here in Louisiana, and the shrimp industry is dominated by family-owned and operated businesses like the one we're going to see today. I'm here with Lance and his son David Naccio, a third and fourth generation fishermen and owners of the Anna Marie Shrimp Company. Thank you so much for welcoming us on your boat today.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got into shrimping?
So I grew up in a trapping camp, and we lived off of all the natural resources, and that was one of the things I did as a child, was shrimp. And my grandfather and both sides of my family were both in the commercial fishing industry.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys actually go about catching shrimp here on the boat.
So this boat is equipped with outer trawls, it's called. We have these 40-foot outriggers we put down, and we pull the trawl with some outer doors, and the trawl skims along the bottom and has a tickler chain because the shrimp are in the sediment, and the chain kind of makes them jump up in front of the net. And we pull for usually about 3 hours, and then we pull them up and then start sorting. You know, we use a lot of extra gear to eliminate or reduce the amount of bycatch we produce. We have totally excluded devices that we've modified in order to let out more bycatch.
How long does your crew stay out on the boat?
So this boat, usually when it leaves the dock, it goes out for 2 weeks at a time. We have a plate freezer on it, so you know, we're not holding something that is perishable that needs to get off in a few days. So we process our shrimp while we're out harvesting them. We have two different species of shrimp that we target, and brown shrimp and white shrimp, but specifically white shrimp. We're always usually after white shrimp because our white shrimp grow larger inshore and nearshore.
Both brown and white shrimp share the estuaries to grow, but they occupy them at different times. This sets the stage for separate spring and fall shrimp seasons. Brown shrimp usually spawn earlier in the year and are most abundantly harvested in May, June, and July. But white shrimp are most commonly harvested in August, September, and October.
The white shrimp, you know, we catch them almost year-round, the white shrimp. They prefer a brackish water, the white shrimp, so they stay near shore and inshore. They like to hang out around the rivers and stuff like that. So that's where we do most of our fishing, is near the Mississippi or Atchafalaya River.
Okay. I know that your product has a great reputation for being, you know, really fresh, really good quality. How does that start here on the boat?
As soon as these shrimp come aboard, we want to get them cold and then frozen as soon as we can. So once we sort the bycatch and sort the shrimp by size, we have a mechanical shrimp sorter that you know, sizes the shrimp for us. And then once they're sorted by size, we have a refrigerated seawater system back here where we put the shrimp in about a 35-degree water to cool them off. And then once it's chilled, then we put it in the boxes and put it in a plate freezer and freeze it. And this freezer, when we turn it on, it could be 90 degrees. In 1 hour, it's 45 below zero. So we freezing these shrimp really cold is what we're doing. And that's what makes these shrimp, fresh and out of the water quality. And that's what we pride ourselves into, producing a good quality shrimp.
So when you come in, how many pounds of shrimp are you bringing in after 2 weeks?
Usually the target is to have at least 10,000 pounds of shrimp that we're bringing in.
So tell me, what's the difference between going out and doing the wild caught shrimp versus, let's say, farm raised shrimp?
Oh, wow. Our wild harvest is probably around 80 to 100 million pounds in Louisiana, and they import right at 2 billion pounds of shrimp every year. So, when you're out eating shrimp, unless you know where it's coming from, there's a 95% chance you're eating imported shrimp.
So, but the wild caught shrimp are going to be, have more of a mineral, nutrient-based food system.
Our shrimp are sweet and succulent because of the rivers and the estuaries and the special place they grow. They're not raised in a pond, clustered up and fed, God knows what. And I call farm-raised shrimp like a textured protein is all it is,
So another thing that makes our shrimp unique is that we don't use no kind of chemicals, no antibiotics, no kind of preservatives. If we do use a preservative, it's all natural preservative, which we tend not to really use very often. We try to just keep the shrimp natural and fresh.
So once the shrimp comes back to shore and you bring it into your processing facility, what happens there?
When it's seasoned, we take fresh shrimp and we process it, where we hand peel it, devein it, and pack it in 1 pound packs, ready for a consumer. But, in the off season, we'll take some of this plate frozen shrimp, thaw them out, and peel them and do the same thing. And the quality of these shrimp are like they just come out of the water.
Well, we've already learned so much about how shrimp are caught, and thank you so much for having us on the boat today. Let's go over to Cocha in Baton Rouge, where Judy's going to show us some of her recipes for shrimp.
Hello, I'm Judy Myhand, and I teach nutrition and food sciences at LSU, and I'm a person who loves good food and Harvest of the Month. Today we're here in downtown Baton Rouge cooking with Saskia Spanhoff. Today we're going to be making some delicious shrimp tacos. You're going to love them. These beautiful wild-caught shrimp that we have in front of us are from Anna Marie Shrimp Company, and they come with a shell. You notice that it's got the head on it and the shell. And today we're going to both use the shrimp that's inside the shell and use the shell to make a delicious shrimp stock. How do you make your shrimp stock?
I keep my shrimp stock fairly simple. I'll take the peel from the shrimp along with the heads, and I just add a little salted water, not too heavily salted. At the time, if you're peeling a lot of shrimp, you can make your stock right ahead, but if you're just doing a single serving or a couple of servings, you can freeze these and then come back later and make a stock. Next time you may be cooking shrimp again and have a little bit more shells. When I put it on the stove with the water, it's not cooking it too hard a boil, it's nice simmering, and it's really pulling out all these delicious flavors of the shrimp.
And what are some of the things you use that stock for?
I love it to use shrimp stock. I make right now a Portuguese fisherman stew that's seasoned with a little saffron. So I take that shrimp stock and I put a little saffron in there.
That sounds delicious.
I use it in Thai food. Shrimp's just such a beautiful protein that it's very versatile.
It picks up a lot of the flavors, right?
Yeah.
So shrimp's an excellent source of protein and other nutrients like phosphorus and vitamin B12.
I also like it for the iodine content. Helps support your thyroid. There are a lot of thyroid issues out there. Notice when I moved away from Louisiana and quit eating all that wonderful shrimp that I was accustomed to eating, probably a little too much, I needed the iodine. So
Right.
that's a nice healthy thing.
Right. So now while we've peeled some shrimp, and now we're getting the shrimp onto a baking sheet, going to put some bell peppers, some onion, a little jalapeno.
So you have cumin, paprika, there's a little chili powder in there, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to disappear from the camera for a minute and put this in the oven so we can get that going.
All right. Very good.
right.
And this recipe will be available on the Seeds to Success website. Oh, that looks delicious. I just want to say that I can easily eat 3 ounces of shrimp, and that provides about 80 calories, most of which come from protein, since they're very low in fat. But the fat that they do have is really high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for you. One of the things that we wanted to make sure everybody knew is that shrimp come in different sizes.
Yeah, so shrimp, they'll come in many different sizes as you're buying them, but it basically relates to how many shrimp on average you're getting per pound to a bag. So if the number's greater per pound, then obviously smaller shrimp.
Okay, so it's time for us to assemble our shrimp tacos.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful display here of toppings that we can put on our shrimp tacos. Put just about everything on mine. A couple of shrimp there. Maybe some salsa. Squeeze a little lime on top of this stuff. And now we're gonna eat some delicious Anna Marie shrimp tacos.
Beautiful. All right.
All right. Are you ready?
A messy one. Great flavors.
All right, now that we've tasted our tacos, let's go back out to the boat and see what Crystal's up to.
Sounds great.
Okay, so here we are. We've made it to Montague, Louisiana, and your processing facility is here.
Yeah.
So we've followed the shrimp back to Montague, and when you bring it back here, what happens when it gets to here?
So we have a large storage freezer where we put them in and give us time to sell them. But then also we take some of this shrimp and we process it, which means we peel and devein these shrimp. This shrimp has been in the freezer for a little while. It was packaged on July 31st. We date stamp the boxes when we're out catching shrimp. And these shrimp have a little bit of melanosis starting to show up on them, which is a darkening. It's like if you peel an apple and leave it out on the counter, it naturally wants to darken. And we use no chemicals or preservatives, so there's a chemical called sodium metabisulfite, and it prevents this from happening, but there's a lot of people who have allergic reactions to the sulfites. So we just do it all natural. And I mean, we're about to eat these shrimp, and you won't be able to see or taste any of this once they're cooked. It's just a natural occurrence, the darkening that they're having right here a little bit.
All right, I think these shrimp are probably ready to go in the boiler.
Yeah, we're about to boil them and have them for lunch.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. All right, this looks amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The shrimp look great.
Yeah.
People just don't realize how many places and how many people it takes to get this shrimp on the plate.
Yeah.
So we can find your shrimp at the farmers markets?
Yeah. We do the Red Stick Market every Thursday and every Saturday, 8 to 12. And then we also do the Crescent City Farmers Market every Sunday, 8 to 12.
Great. Yeah, let's try one. To
Cheers.
Louisiana shrimp.
Yeah. Louisiana's finest.
Cheers. Delicious. The Louisiana Harvest of the Month program showcases a different Louisiana-grown food each month in Louisiana communities. We hope you will join us in tasting Louisiana this month.
Support provided by the Louisiana Ag in the Classroom program, giving educators the tools to increase understanding of agriculture and renewable food, fiber, and fuel systems. Learn more at aitcla.org. And by the Louisiana Department of Health, working to improve disparities in healthcare and health outcomes. Information at ldh.la.gov.